Hi, so I've been wanting to make this video just to showcase this program. So this is a Honkai Star Rail Wechat program that I've been using. It's helped me a lot to improve my accounts and my characters, and also to see some common recommendations for clearing content. There are some functionalities that are similar to Pridewin. We're going to see that right after. But overall, it's been really useful, and I think it could interest a few people. So first of all, this is a Wechat program, so basically you have to go through Wechat to download it. I'm using the desktop version right now, so I'm going through the desktop version of Wechat. So this is also quite handy if you want to use that on your computer while playing, or while you're playing on your phone. And so far I haven't been able to find any other way to use this program. Maybe it can be used as a standalone without going through Wechat, but I'm not sure how. I know you can download the APK of this through Tencent, but I haven't been able to use it myself without Wechat. So what is this basically? So there's a lot of functionalities that I'm not really using. These ones, for example, it's all HD illustrations you can get. So there's illustrations of the characters, there are constellations, same thing for light cones, for relics. There are some rankings, like the server ranking, when it comes to pool chances, to see who are the luckiest people. So it shows you basically, if we check the luckiest users, we can see that this user have been getting a 5-star on average every 16 pools. So I don't know how they are doing, maybe working at Hoyoverse. And here the number of 5 stars they got to this day, also the total amount of pools. And here there are some other analytics that are not very interesting. Here there's a countdown to see basically when was a character last on a banner. So we can see here we have the current banner here, so it's been 11 days. And then here you can see that Jingyuan has been sleeping for 254 days. So yeah, there's also the same thing for 4-star characters and for light cones here. Here also is like the current event codes you can get to get your Primogems. I think this is only Chinese server, I think. It would make sense. Then here we get a global ranking. So it's like a damage ranking and also a relic ranking. You can see both. Here's the damage ranking. Here's the relic quality ranking. Then here we got basically the builds for each given character. So it's a usage rate. So basically how many people are using each light cone and relic set for a given character. So here we can see that for Dr. Ratio, 37% of people are using the free 5-star light cone, 34% are using his signature light cone, and then you can see the rest here. Same thing for relics. These are all with the stiletto relic thing. So I would guess most people are using different ones, like Glamoth, for example. And now here are the better or more useful functions. I mean, this one is useless. This one is a pooling simulator. So basically you can pull up the current banner or any past banners. And so for people who have big gambling tendencies and cannot control themselves, I would advise to use that as a way to blow up some steam. You can just pull for any given banner. It gives you unlimited currency, and maybe it can help you scratch that pooling itch you have. Here also completely useless, but it's just interesting, I guess. It's the popularity poll, I would say. Here is the likeness of the character, like if you like design or just the character overall, and here a rating of their strength. So this is all a community poll basically. You can see how many people have voted and which characters are the most popular. And then lastly, for the less interesting one, I would say, here you have the pooling analysis. So it makes you basically install a program either on your computer or your phone that you have to run, and then it will give you a link that you have to input here, and it will pull up all the pooling history you have. So the last one I did was when Ho-Ho got out. So here we can see all the pulls I've done until Ho-Ho. So I can see how many pulls it took, whether I lost or not my 50-50. So here I lost my 50-50 on Himeko when I was pulling for the Blade banner, and it took me 77 pulls to get him after that for a total of 154. And then we can see here the other characters also took me quite a lot of pulls overall. Here it also gives you some analytics. So for example, 80% of the time I'm winning my 50/50s, which is very good. The total amount of 5 stars I have, and an average of how many pulls does it take me to get a limited 5-star. So you can see the same thing for light cones, for the standard banner, and here the beginner banner, for which I don't have any data here. And so now we get in the more interesting tools. So this one is a pooling chance, basically. So you can input the currency you have. So let's say 7,000 crystals here. Let's say I have 10 tickets and I want 2 copies of Black Swan because I'm greedy. Then you calculate and it will show you the percent chance basically you have of getting the characters. So here I would have 1.8% chance of getting 2 Black Swans with 7,000 crystals and 10 tickets. So I haven't really been using that yet, but maybe I will for Sparkle. Here also you can just input the number of characters you would want to get. For example, if I say 1 Black Swan, it will show you an average of pulls you would need to get the character. So to get 1 Black Swan, you would need between 121 and 160 pull to get her. And here are the different ranges. Then these are the more useful tools, I would say. So here you can also already get that on Pridewen, but it's basically a usage rate for both memory and pure fiction. So here is for memory. This is the usage rate. This, if you know, please tell me in the comments because I'm not sure what it means. I think it's the number of time the characters have been used. And here is the average number of cycles. So for example, on average, it takes players 7.4 cycles to clear the 12th floor with Jingliu. You can see the teams right over here. So same data for teams. So here, this is exactly the same thing for pure fiction. So usage rate again for a given character, average number of points here, not cycles, because it's pure fiction. And here the teams that are used with the average amount of points earned by a given team. And now the main tool I would say is this. So here you can get different type of information. The most useful ones are these over here. This one gives you a rating on your character based on their stats. What it does is it will highlight the key stats for a character. So for example, for Jingliu, the key stats to get are attack, speed, crit rate, crit damage, and ice damage. Here it's a ranking given to your character. Here you can see my Jingliu is better than 91% of players, I guess you would say. Here the key stats, so it basically allocates a threshold to see whether your character have graduated or not. So this is the global rating, the overall rating. And here you can see the same rating per stats. So basically this means my Jingliu, when I look at her overall investment, she's already at 107% of the recommendation, which means I don't really need to invest into her more if I look at the overall rating. But here, when looking at the detail, I can see that her crit damage is lacking. And down here, we can see some comments and recommendations. So for example, they are recommending that my Jingliu gets at least 200% crit damage, which I don't have yet. I'm only at 180. So it gives you a very quick view on how you can improve your character. So here I know if I want to improve my Jingliu, I can give her more crit damage. And I know I can sacrifice a bit of speed or a bit of crit rate. Obviously it doesn't take in account, for example, speed tuning or other things like that, but it's a very quick overview and it makes it easy to know how you can improve your character. Now here we can see the exact same thing but for relics, which is also, I would say, even more important. So here it gives you the relic ranking and it will give you a score based on the rolls you got on a given substat and also whether your substat went to key stats or not. So here I can see, for example, for this piece, it's rated SSS. I got 2 substats that went into crit rate, 2 substats that went into attack, and 1 that went into HP. But I got some good rolls out of my substats, good values. So it's rated a SSS. And we can see here the worst piece on my Jingliu is her headpiece. 2 substats went into non-relevant stats. Down here, it's a calculation of her damage as is. So this is for her skill and this is for her ultimate. And here you have a list of buffs taken in account when calculating that damage. So this is also very useful. I got a good example here from my Run May, for example. So she has a very good rating. Ace is the highest rating you can get. You can get it, I think, from B to, no, from C. So yeah, here. From C to Ace. C being the worst and Ace being the best. And so here I can see most of my pieces are very good, and if I wanted to improve her further, I could change her headpiece, which is very bad because most substats went into non-relevant stats. So this you can already see now on Star Rail. There's the function to see the number of rolls you got on any given substat. But here it goes a bit more in depth and also gives you a rating, so it makes it easier to know whether a piece is good or not. Then you can check the same thing but for a team. So if I go over here and I check, for example, over here, I have my Black Swan team. Here I have 26,000 damage rating for this team with Tingyun, Ho-Ho and Kafka. But if I were to, for example, switch Tingyun to Ramei, I can see that the value goes up to 30,000. So it tells me that basically the damage would be higher with Ranmei in my team compared to Tingyun. So it can also help you choose. Here you can see a list also of all the buffs your team would have while using these different characters. You can also check the rating of an overall team. So if I go over here and I select my dot team that I created, I can see that based on the individual rating of each character and their stats as well as relic scores, my overall team is an SS team. So it's not that specific, but it gives an overall rating, and it can still be useful when trying to choose a team over another. And lastly, over here you can also check all your relics. So it will basically show you which relics are the best. It's a relic ranking, which pieces are the best, which pieces are the worst, and you can see at a quick glance also which pieces would need to change. I think it's more relevant to look on a character basis, but if you want to see overall how many good pieces you have, you can see that here. So now what are the pros and cons, I think, of this software? So the pros, obviously, at least when using this rating function, is that it gives you a very quick overview on your characters. You can know right away where do you need to improve to make your character better. Also, what are the key stats. You already have the easy building sheet also you can look at. If you don't really want to go through a guide, it's a very good indicator. So for example, here I can see that my Himeko is complete trash, and if I wanted to improve her, I would have to give her a lot more crit damage, more crit rate, but she's almost already at the good threshold for it, and more attack. And so you can see the detailed recommendation here. So that would be 60% crit rate, 120% crit damage, above 3000 attack. Put her at level 80, so she's 79 right now. And also improve her relics, because her relics are rated a B. Now for the cons of this tool, I think just looking at the stats is not always an accurate representation of your character strength. So for example, if I take my doctor ratio here, he's rated as a triple S, so I would think that he's already pretty much good to go and can clear content. But in reality, if we look at the recommendation on the stats, we can see that his crit damage is way too low and his crit rate is way too high compared to what's recommended. And so in reality, he's not very usable. He has 80% crit rate for 115 crit damage, which is really unbalanced and not good. So this rating is not to trust blindly. You still need to look a bit at the stats distribution, yeah, that's it. So overall, I think it's really useful. What I like about it is that it's not exclusive to China. So yes, it's a program that's on Wechat, so you would have to use Wechat. And I would think most people who have no Chinese friend or don't have a Chinese circle are not using this app to communicate. But at the same time, you can still link your account to the tool and you can still use it if you're on another server. I myself am on the European server and I've been using it for quite some time. It's been very easy to link it to my account, and it allows me to very quickly get an overview of my characters, my account, and improve my characters to clear content more easily. So basically I don't have to go through tons of guides and analytics. Or Pridewen is a very good platform, I think, with a lot of information that some are similar to what this tool can provide. But this one it goes a bit more in detail because it's about your account. So it's not some general advice. It's advice directly tied to your character and your builds and your relics. And so it makes it very easy to see how far you are from being able to clear content comfortably. So that's it. I hope that was interesting for you. If you have any questions or any comment, or if I missed anything or mistranslated anything, you can just tell me in the comments. I would be happy to correct myself. And yeah, that's it. Bye.